Beautiful beings of the universe, welcome to Now. Know that if people are laughing at you, it's precisely the fact that they are scared that you would be able to shine in your utmost light. And probably they fear that you will be able to do the things what they are fearing that they could never even imagine to do. So better stay on your path and keep on doing. And in fact, the more you irritate people, even better. Because as long as you do not care about what others are thinking, you are staying on the right path. That means you are doing the things that your spirit is basically calling you to do. And you must listen to that. Stop caring about what others are thinking or making fun of, because all that is about the distraction. And the fact that you have got a goal and you are centered to that, that needs a lot of concentration. So, like I talked about this in my previous videos about the expansion and the contraction. So, the expansion is the distraction. And when you have found out what exactly is that you're going to do, that is all about the concentration. So, you need to stay at the center exactly and not care a bit about the distractions that might be thrown across your way. Because when you have chosen to stay on your path of shining your light, of being truthful to your soul, guess what? You would be tested. And it's not going to be an easy path. And mostly people want things done an easy way, but that's just never the case. So just go through it all because there's no easy shortcut recipe to anything that we want to do. You would be meeting a lot of limiting beliefs, which is precisely set for you by others, in fact. So you need to stay grounded and watch through that. So you need to be able to look through your own limitations, like how a hawk watches its prey. You've got to be supremely mindful moment to moment. That means being sharp every second. You got to be sharp. You just do not have time to be wobbly anymore. You have got just two choices in life. One is to be a hero and to shine through. That means a lot of suffering. Just like how gold, you know the process of making gold. So it's basically burnt in through a lot of fire and it burns in order to shine its light. Or you can choose to just be in the negative side, basically acting as the noise, wherein when somebody else is doing something, you would just be making fun or commenting or trying to gossip around. There are only these two ways. Either you become the hero or you become the background, the crowd which is trying to pull the hero down. And the choice is absolutely ours. Whether you want to be the hero in your life or whether you want to act as a background, act as the noise, basically a sheep mentality, doing what everybody else is doing, going where everybody else is going, trying to live the life exactly looking at others and not finding through what exactly is your true calling. Because then that needs a lot of courage. That basically means you need to die. It's a moment to moment death. And your dying is actually the limited I personal self that you have thought about yourself as, which has got all these limits that I can't do that. And I fear if I do that, be it in your terms of physical limitations, and you might feel your body is just finding it too difficult to push through, and your body might scream and cry and say, I just don't want to do it anymore. I'm having so much pain. I can't take this anymore. And the same is the case in your mental state of mind as well, because when you go about meeting the limitations, and first of all, the problem is in realizing the fact that, well, I have this limitation. Because we are so scared to even face that, we don't even get into that territory. And once we have, we realize now we need to test those boundaries. And that testing means failure. Like, have you ever seen a scientist who is trying to experiment, trying to find out something for the truth of the nature? So what a scientist does is they go on doing lots of experiments. They do a lot of tests in which many times they fail. And after maybe hundreds or thousands of attempts, they get to succeed. And that failure is precisely what we are afraid of. So we think that, okay, being in the background and just acting like how everybody else is acting is going to keep me safe. But know that there is no safety like that, because you would be tested at that place as well. Because your inner self would it's always going to knock back at you and say that you're not doing what you were supposed to do. You're just playing it too small and it's not fancy anymore. And you got to be listening to that voice. you better listen to that. Because either way, it's going to be, the death is there for sure, whether you play it small or whether you try to be a hero in your own life. Both the ways are going to play out in exactly the same way. So might as well pick the game and do the things that challenges you, do the stuffs that you are born for, and have the courage. Another way to look at this is that you are not the doer. So precisely, it's a mix of these two aspects wherein you utilize your mind and your heart. So from the heart center, you know that it's all a game of oneness, and from the mind, you're supposed to act. That's why you want to focus right now. So we need to play this game of duality and be mindful of the two aspects, and then to be able to utilize that so that that basically works out to the best of your spiritual evolution. And that's why we are here for, to evolve to higher states of consciousness, to be able to lift ourselves from the darkness of the ally in our souls. And as you do that, people look at you and then they also do the same thing. Though they might hate you, because there's nobody else who's hated any more than a person who tells the truth, who tries to shine their light. So of course you'll be hated for that, but then take that because it's worth it. Because you are just trying to be true to your own self, to your own calling, and you've got to do this. Why? Because you're just staying true to your own nature. And after having played small and doing meaningless things and getting into the meaningless conversations with meaningless people, working at dead end jobs which takes you nowhere, after all those throws, you would finally arrive at the center, which tells you to stay true to yourself and reckon your calling. And that's a life worth living. That's a life in grace. That's a life of shining. So that was the message I wanted to share with you guys today. Have a great day, my friend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.